Eagle Eye glanced at the group, except for Lu Xinrui. Even the concubine showed no signs of fatigue. He smiled. All right, this is the place. Zirui, follow me over there. The rest of you, form a group of 3 here. This tree isn't big, so call out if there's any danger and we'll hear you. Okay, the concubine said, looking at the still breathless Lu Xinrui. She patted her back to help her catch her breath. Thank you, sister concubine. Although it had only been a short while, to her it felt like a 3-kilometer run. Not only was the pace fast, but she was also constantly on edge, afraid of falling from the high branches. Eagle Eye shrugged and sat down next to Lu Xinrui on a branch. Tired, take a break. Our gathering team's work is light, with plenty of downtime. Don't worry. Ha. Lu Xinrui finally caught her breath. She looked at the tree, its canopy over 10 meters in diameter, and the distance to either side. Trying not to think about the blood from the priest's throat, she said, "You all can start working. Don't mind me." The concubine hesitated, but with a signal from Eagle Eye, she, Ashen, and Tiayu left. Eagle Eye showed no intention of leaving. He propped his face on his right hand, tilting his head. You might not know, but while the gathering team's work doesn't require much skill, it doesn't mean it's without danger. There's the risk of eating the wrong things and the forest itself. Even close to the camp, where the weakest animals roam, there are still beasts. He looked up at the sky. The previous gathering team leader was caught off guard by a wild animal. The whole team was wiped out. It wasn't until they were overdue that a search found their gnawed remains. Lu Xinrui gasped, the forest suddenly feeling sinister, even the bird calls seeming eerie. Then, you don't need to worry too much. That incident made the leader cautious. To prevent such occurrences, some hunting team members either volunteered or were ordered into the gathering team. Conversely, some gathering members moved to the hunting team or other teams, Eagle Eye said, pointing to himself. The gathering team is now divided into 5 groups. Each group has at least one former hunting team member. They can judge situations quickly in case of an attack, retreat, and occasionally bring extra food to the camp, since the hunting team returns infrequently. Since this system was implemented, there haven't been any attacks, Lu Xinrui nodded. The concubine had mentioned that Eagle Eye was once the deputy leader of the hunting team. See this, Eagle Eye said, holding up a necklace made from a green vine with a bone white, slightly yellowed, 5 to 6 centimeter long, and 1 centimeter diameter fang. It's proof of being a hunting team member, made from the first beast we killed. Lu Xinrui recalled seeing a similar necklace on Ashen, so he must have been in the hunting team too. She looked at Eagle Eye, whose expression was a mix of nostalgia and pride, likely reminiscing about his first hunt. She felt a surge of curiosity about the legendary hunting team she had never seen. Though she had been in the camp for 6 days, the hunting team had been out on a hunt since before she woke up and hadn't returned yet. Can you tell me about the hunting team? Eagle Eye snapped out of his reverie. Too bad. I can't now. Are you rested? No slacking. Finish today's work, and I'll tell you. He flashed his trademark smile. Got it. Lu Xinrui stood up, following Eagle Eye to a branch opposite the one the concubine's group had taken. With her previous experience, she moved smoothly, safely reaching the tree's top. These fruits aren't fully ripe yet, Eagle Eye said, easily hooking a branch and pulling down long green fruits to toss into his basket. If they're too ripe, they spoil quickly. Unripe sour fruits are one of our seasonings. Lu Xinrui mimicked his actions but didn't dare to lift both feet off the branch, cautiously gathering on lower branches. Due to animals, the lower fruits were scarce, and her inexperience made her slow compared to Eagle Eye. Seasoning. Yeah, Eagle Eye said, biting into a yellow fruit amidst the green ones and grimacing. Sour but manageable. We don't have soy sauce or vinegar, so the flavors in your food come from substitutes. Unripe sour fruit juice, honey from strange bees, very sweet fruits, things like that. He looked down at her basket. Hey, that's enough, huh? Lu Xinrui stopped, putting her nearly empty basket in front of her, contrasting with Eagle Eye's 1/3 full basket. But there's so little. Adults and children, men and women, have different strengths, Eagle Eye said, continuing to gather until his basket was half full. He then descended smoothly, using branches and vines to slow his fall, landing lightly beside Lu Xinrui without disturbing the branch. You were panting just getting here, right? How will you carry heavy loads back? It may not feel heavy now, but it will soon. Lucien Rui hefted her basket. Eagle Eye was right. Though the basket with its few fruits weighed only 7 or 8 pounds, considering her breathlessness from the unburdened journey, the return trip might be difficult. She didn't argue, though internally cursing her own weakness. She didn't retort. A slight silence fell. Eagle Eye, long and used to talking to such young girls, mentally chided himself for being too blunt but couldn't apologize without making it more awkward. He led Lucien Rui back to their earlier resting place. The concubines group had finished quickly and was already waiting. Eagle Eye, you didn't bully Rui, did you? No, he was very considerate. Lucien Rui smiled, looking at their harvests. Even the concubines was more than a quarter full. Good. The concubines' attention shifted. By the way, Rui, this is for you. Lucien Rui took a string of dark brown, coin-sized round fruits. What's this? They glow at night, but they don't last long after being picked, even in water, only 2 or 3 days. We use these for lighting, the concubine explained. Many glowing plants exist in the forest. These are used in the camp for night lighting, Eagle Eye added. The hunting team uses another kind. These are inconvenient to carry, short-lived, and too bright, less practical than fire. Eagle Eye's mention made Lucien Rui realize she had been so preoccupied with her thoughts that she hadn't noticed the camp's lighting. Recalling it, she realized these indeed served as their light bulbs. Got it. Former deputy hunting team leader, can we go back now? The concubine emphasized former and deputy with mock ferocity. Of course, let's head back. Eagle Eye resumed his lazy demeanor, leading the way back, adding, Rui, if you can't carry it midway, let me know. No need, I'll help her. The concubine took Lucien Rui's hand, following closely. Lucien Rui, panting from the unburdened trek earlier, struggled halfway with the load but gritted her teeth and persisted, knowing a mid-trip rest would require much time to recover. Back at camp, Eagle Eye led them to the logistics team to hand in the fruits. A logistics member used a stick dipped in white liquid to record each person's harvest on a leaf, handing Lucien Rui a stack with a white 12 on the first. Eagle Eye and the others had their own leaf records, filled with numbers, serving as a form of courtesy. All right, let's rest now, Eagle Eye stretched lazily. That's it, Lucien Rui gasped, surprised at the quick end. Yes, gathering work is easy, Eagle Eye reiterated. I can't take exhausted team members into the forest. If there's danger, you won't have the strength to escape, but today's special. According to the prophet, it will start raining in about half an hour. Lucien Rui looked up. The sky was darker than usual, the sun obscured by clouds, signaling rain. So, if not for the rain, they couldn't continue because of her. This rain won't last long. If it's still raining after lunch, afternoon work is cancelled. Let's disband. Lucien Rui bit her lip, nodded, and bid them goodbye. Should she find Yanzi? No, she had decided not to rely on Yanzi, but she had nowhere else to go, knowing only a few people in the camp. After much thought, she returned to the treehouse she shared with Yanzi. The treehouse was empty. Yanzi was likely still working with the logistics team. Lucien Rui found a wooden bowl, intending to keep the glowing fruits the concubine gave her. But the bowl was too shallow to hold the fruit stems upright. She ended up placing them by her pillow. Just as she finished, the doctor's voice came from behind. Rui. Lucien Rui turned, surprised to see him entering. Doctor, why are you here? The doctor sat by the low table with a hint of anger. I should ask you, why didn't you come for your routine checkup? I thought something happened to you. Lucien Rui remembered she was supposed to have a morning checkup but had gone with Eagle Eye's group, forgetting about it. Recalling that the doctor hadn't been at breakfast and likely hadn't been informed, she felt guilty. He must have waited for her, worried, and come to check on her. She explained the situation apologetically. The doctor's anger subsided, replaced by a sigh. I'm glad you're okay, but I didn't want you to start working so soon. Seeing Lucien Rui's hesitant look, he gestured for silence. I know what you want to say, but you're different. Your growth phase isn't over, and you were frozen for so long. Strenuous activity could strain your developing muscles and even dislocate your bones. Seeing his concern, Lucien Rui knew he genuinely cared, making it hard to refuse. I'll be careful. Isn't that enough? She was prepared to give up if he insisted, but to her surprise, he considered it and agreed. It's not entirely out of the question. More activity can help your body, but promise me you won't overdo it. Seeing her excitement, he added, don't celebrate yet. I'll have Eagle Eye and the concubine watch over you. During their conversation, the rain eagle I mentioned had started. Lu Xinrui couldn't tell what season it was. The temperature was never too hot or cold, and this rain felt like a summer thunderstorm, with heavy rain and thunder, making her worrying about flooding. This was her first rain since awakening. She stood by the treehouse entrance, watching the downpour. No need to worry. This is a forest, not a concrete city, the doctor said, seeing her concern. As he said, the forest floor quickly absorbed the water. Despite the heavy rain, there was no standing water, the soil soaking it up efficiently. But if this continues, there might be a problem, the doctor added, his worrying matching hers. What problem? Lu Xinrui asked. The rainy season is coming.